Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be finding out about the person on your mind's true thoughts and feelings towards you. What would they say if they were being completely honest and unfiltered? And this reading can work for any type of connection, any person who is on your mind. There are often many people who watch these readings with a romantic interest in mind, so I'm gonna have a time-stamped section in the reading for those messages that are specifically romantic, so that if your connection is not that type of connection, it will be easy for you to skip past that part and avoid any awkwardness. So there are 4 groups to choose from today, and I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Rhodonite. Number 2 is clear quartz. Number 3 is rose quartz. And number 4 is pyrite with calcite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the Rhodonite, this is going to be your reading. Not only are you guys group number 1, but when I was filming the intro and holding up your stone, I saw 111 on the camera timer. So I feel like this is an important number for you. And actually what came to my mind when I saw 111 in the intro was that the person on your mind, and maybe you as well, feel free to claim this for yourself as well, could be sort of in their magician era, because the magician is the major arcana associated with number 1. And it gave me the feeling that your person is heavily in an energy of manifesting right now and getting shit done. So here is the full reading breakdown. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we are going to see your person's current energy, their current situation, what's going on with them right now, and where is their head at right now. We are going to see how they view you, and we are going to separate this into 2 parts. So there's going to be a non-romantic version and a romantic version. So if the person on your mind is a romantic interest, you may want to watch both of these to get the full picture. But if you're like, no, this is absolutely not a romantic connection, you can skip past this part, and there's going to be timestamps down below so that you can skip. Then we are going to dive into this person's thoughts of you, their thoughts of the connection, their thoughts of the current circumstances. What would they say if they were completely honest and unfiltered? In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? And what should you know moving forward? So this is going to be a message from Spirit about what you should be aware of when it comes to this person or the connection overall as you move forward. In the extended reading, we are going to flip it over to your person and see what they think your thoughts are of them. Will they take action? If so, what is this action going to be? And if not, should you be the one to take action? We are going to see how they would react if you made a move towards them or if you told them your true feelings. And then we are going to answer a yes or no question. So this is going to be any question that you want to ask, including the reason. And finally, we are going to see time frames as well as signs and synchronicities that are significant to this connection. So that's going to be our full reading today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. What is your person's current energy? What is going on with them right now? Where is their head at? Yeah, literally. Fairy stone with fertility. So this is why I was picking up that they're in their magician era. They are in such a good energy to manifest right now. And I'm getting the sense that in this era of their life, they are very clear about what their goals are, and they are very focused on materializing these goals. And this fertility keyword means that they're going to be successful. They have everything they need to make their goals a reality. For a select few people, fertility could be talking about the literal sense, like, you know, physically, in the sense of birthing a child. But I think for most people, this is going to be like the birthing of a new reality, the birthing of a project, the birthing of a dream, like really in their creative and manifesting energy. And they are going to be successful. We also have, yeah, I feel like we're just going to get the same message over and over again. Mercury, Mars. This means with their current energy, when they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. So in your connection, how this pertains to your connection with them, you may find that now, more so than before, they are going to be more reliable or following through more. So if they're making plans with you, if they're saying like, yeah, we should do that, then it's gonna happen. Because that's just the energy, that's the era that they're in right now. And I just saw 444. If they say they want to do something with you, they're gonna make it happen. If they say they want to make a plan with you, they're gonna make that plan. So if there's been any like unreliable or unpredictable energy surrounding them, I feel like that is definitely going to change. And maybe this person has always been trustworthy like that, so this is not surprising to you. But if that has not been the case, I think you're gonna notice that they're just really following through more with what they're saying. And this goes for your connection and also just their life in general. If they're like, yeah, I really want to make this goal happen, like they are going to make it happen. We have curiosity. The frequency of curiosity supports our intrinsic inquisitive nature, which is the necessary driving force behind any growth and evolution. We also have wishbone, a wish is granted, and career. So for many of you, your person's goals and dreams may be heavily revolving around their career. I wonder if this curiosity card has a message about them like getting curious about a new path, wanting to try something new. I also feel like they could be taking a kind of experimental approach on their journey. I very much feel like your person is moving out of an energy of beating themselves up for their struggles, for limiting beliefs, for insecurities, and rather approaching them from a place of curiosity. Like, what could this be trying to teach me about something in my life that needs to change? Or how could this actually present an opportunity for me? How could there be a silver lining to what I'm experiencing right now? Or like, what's the valuable lesson, rather than like judging themselves about, oh, like I failed again, or oh, why can't I just get over this? Why can't I just control my emotions? Blah, blah, blah. I think they're doing quite well. Yeah, they're becoming curious about what their passions are, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and looking at them from a place of non-judgment. Yeah, I think your person's in a good place. And if you haven't seen this energy from them yet, I think you're going to start to see it soon. And I do think that it's going to positively impact your connection. It just seems like they're showing up in life with more enthusiasm. Okay, so maybe for some of you, like your person had like a weight on them before. It just felt like maybe they weren't completely themselves. They were carrying a heavy weight, or their energy felt a bit brain foggy, not focused. Maybe they were even kind of dropping the ball with you and not fully showing up and being present in the connection. And you're going to see that change now. This is what I'm picking up. So this is a really, really nice energy. Let's see how they are viewing you. So I'm going to start with the non-romantic interpretation, and I invite everybody to watch this part, but if you do want to skip right ahead to the romantic side of things, you can go to this timestamp. It's also going to be down below. How does group number one's person view them? we have the moon. Okay, right away I'm hearing like mysterious, kind of hard to read. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna elaborate on that, but we have the keywords here: intuition, illusion, and revelation. You could be heavily in this person's subconscious. I'm hearing like they catch themselves thinking about you without even realizing. When their mind is on autopilot, when their mind is just idling. Okay, it's kind of like, maybe this is not for everyone, but the message that came through is like, having thoughts of you is kind of their default. When their mind is just chilling, when their mind is just idle, they're like, la la la, group number one. You're just kind of, your presence and your energy is lingering there. And I think it actually brings them a lot of peace. When I get the moon in a reading like this, it does make me think of dreams. So it could be that this person is dreaming about you, but I feel like they probably wouldn't tell you that. Or maybe they wouldn't tell anybody. So when it comes to the mysterious aspect of things, what I wanted to elaborate is that I don't think this is coming across as you are withholding parts of yourself from them or you are behaving in a confusing way. It's not like that. It's more that you have a depth to you that they don't quite understand yet. So it's not about you like withholding information from them or hiding or being secretive. It's just like, oh, I don't think I've quite wrapped my head around the complexities of group number one's energy yet. So you may have a certain depth to you that they're not used to, that perhaps they haven't experienced in other connections of theirs. I would not be surprised if you have really opened their mind to a deeper level of understanding about life and the universe, like since meeting you. I heard they've been searching for answers since meeting you. They've become a lot more reflective about the greater meaning of life and their greater purpose and perhaps even their own soul. Oh my gosh, I just saw 1111 when I said that. Their own soul and their own relationship to their soul. If you've been open about your spiritual side to this person, I think that's very intriguing to them, and it has made them quite curious about diving deeper. And something that's coming through that I really like is that they're not necessarily interested in just copying your spiritual journey and doing what you do. They want to discover what their own relationship to spirituality looks like. They want to do their own research. They want to do their own reflection. They want to build that relationship with their own soul and have their own kind of independent relationship with spirituality, which I don't know, I really like that. So I think they also appreciate, like if you're coming out as the moon, it's likely that this person finds you to be incredibly compassionate, not just for the people in your life, but for the collective, for humanity at large, and even for the planet, for animals, for life in general. And they appreciate your sensitivity. They appreciate your depth of emotion. For those of you who are, okay, this message doesn't actually have to be just for creatives, but I was going to say for those of you who are creatives, they may appreciate your kind of unconventional approach. But this message could also be that they appreciate your unconventional approach to expressing yourself. I feel like you're someone who's comfortable going outside of the box to convey yourself in a way that is true to your soul. One example that's coming to my mind is using a word in your speech, even though you know that's not how the word is usually used. It's just the best word to express yourself in that moment. And like, it works. It works. What you're trying to say is understood. It's like you're not afraid of breaking the rules, so to speak, if it means that you can express yourself more authentically. They really appreciate that. And I do think you're inspiring them to be more vocal and more expressive. Because I feel like this person has a lot going on in their inner world and they don't necessarily talk about it. being around you makes them realize that it is possible. It is possible to put these more complex emotions into words. Okay, so now we're going to look at their romantic feelings for you. So if it is not that kind of connection for you, you can skip forward with this timestamp, which will also be down below. How does group number one's person view them romantically? This is maybe a specific message for some of you. I think this is a message for those of you who are like friends with this person and you're wanting things to progress to a romantic dynamic with them. If that's the case for you, the message is that your person has put a lot of thought into this, and it's not like the decision to move things from friendship to romance is not something they take lightly. I'm hearing like if they take that step with you, they want to do it right. And I think because they really value the friendship, they're being very careful about this decision. Yeah, but overall, regardless of what your dynamic may be with your person, I think that moving things to the next step with you is something that they think about frequently, and they give a lot of careful thought. Like, it's not something that they would want to rush into impulsively. And yeah, there's this feeling of if we take it there, if we take it to that kind of dynamic, there's some aspect of our old dynamic that they feel like it will never be the same, or you'll lose some aspect of the way things were before and like trade it in for the new romantic dynamic. And I think they just want to, feels like there's no turning back. And maybe in general, this is just someone who takes their romantic commitments very seriously. So they want to be very like careful and very sure about it. How does group number one's person view them romantically? Okay, we have 3 cards came out. So, I mean, that's definitely confirmation that they are thinking about it a lot. We have the 6 of Fire, we have Magician, and we have, whoa, we were talking about the Magician, and we have the Death card. And by the way, I don't remember if I called this 6 of Fire or 6 of Wands, but it's the 6 of Wands in traditional tarot. This is very interesting to me because we were literally just talking about this feeling of there's no going back. And that is what, I mean, that's literally what the Death card is. Once a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it can't turn back into a caterpillar. That's the vibe. It's transformation. It's a complete transformation of the dynamic. And there is this sense of, if we go into like a fully committed romantic relationship, or if we take that step to be physically intimate together, whatever it is, like if we go there, there's no going back. Like we can't pretend it never happened and go back to our old way of being together. It feels very big and very significant for them. The fact that 2 out of 3 of these cards are major arcana shows how important this is to them. And I just saw 1818, which is the number of the moon. So I feel like they are really in their head about this. Like if we should move forward, when we should do it, how we should do it. They're quite in their head about it. And this kind of gives the previous moon card a bit of a new context, because I feel like they're trying to gauge how you feel about it maybe without directly asking you. They're trying to look for more subtle cues, more subtle hints from your behavior, from your tone, from the look in your eyes. They're kind of trying to feel like, what do you think we should do? Perhaps without saying it outright yet. Now, we must remember that they're moving into this era where they want something, they're gonna make it happen. And they're trying to be more vocal. So I don't think that this energy of being in their head is gonna last for much longer. I will say that. And we also have the Magician here. So I think they're certain that they want it to happen, but they're still thinking about the timing of it all and the circumstances and how to do it. I also kind of feel like they're confident. They're confident that if they... I feel like they know deep down that it's meant to happen. That's the vibe that I'm getting. They're just in their head about taking the leap. This is the vibe that I get, because I think that they admire you so much and they think a lot about how you view them. And they want you to view them in a positive light. There's something coming through, like they want to impress you, or they want you to think that they're cool. So it may be hard for them to be like, let their guard down and be vulnerable. They may be worried about coming across as like too much, too emotional, or like cringe or something. But I think they're certain about what they want. I think this is someone who would be very proud to be your romantic partner. Like they would want everybody to know. They would show off the fact that you are together. They would not want to be subtle about it. They would not want it to be a secret. That doesn't mean you can't have privacy in your relationship, of course. But I also just saw 2121, which is the number of the world, and that the world and the Six of Wands are like the two cards for me that always make me think like, look at my partner. I'm so proud that this is my partner. Look at us together, and like showing you off, wanting to make it very official, wanting to make sure everybody knows. This is the type of person, like, let's say they're at a bar and someone comes up and they're giving the vibe that they're trying to flirt. They'll be like, yeah, so me and my significant other, or like, did I show you a picture of my significant other? Like, they're just gonna shut it down immediately and let everybody know. So like, don't try to flirt with me. Don't try to make a move on me. Like, I am taken. That's the vibe that they give. So yeah, I feel like when they think about being with you in that way, it does make them very excited, and like, you're a 10, you're an 11 in their eyes, and probably just in general, group number one. So, you know, it's big for them. They're certain about their desire, but I think they just need to surrender and like let it happen naturally. Let your vibes speak for themselves. They will know when the time is right. You will know when the time is right. Okay, so we are going to take a deep dive into the nature of their thoughts. Their thoughts of you. We have Justice, their thoughts of the connection. We have the Star. You're getting a lot of major arcana, eh? Like, we have 6 tarot cards on the table right now, and 5 of them are major arcana, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, this is a significant person. This is a significant soul. It's no wonder you are asking about them. It's no wonder that they are on your mind. What are their thoughts of the current circumstances? We have the 4 of Cups. What would they say to you if they were being completely honest and unfiltered? We have the 2 of Swords. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? We have, I kind of want to keep this in reverse. Yeah, 6 of Wands in reverse. And what should you know about this person or this connection moving forward? What does Spirit want to leave you with as you move forward in this connection? We have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I guess we're taking reversals today because the 2 that did come out reversed, I feel called to leave them like that. Okay, so their thoughts of you, we have Justice. Right away, this tells me that your person feels you go great together. You complement each other very well. You balance each other out very well. They likely view the dynamic between the 2 of you as harmonious. Like, it's quite peaceful for them. We were talking about that with this Moon card, that when you are on their mind, they feel at peace. I think they're liking where things are at when it comes to how you get along with each other, and they feel like you are equals. Something that's coming through is they really appreciate your conversations or how you converse. So, for example, maybe your person has been around people, been on dates with people, or just like hung out with people before where the other person is the only one talking and they cannot get a word in. And so they're just like sitting there and listening to this other person yap. And then maybe they've experienced the other extreme where it's like, oh my God, they're not talking at all. And they have to do all the talking and they have to fill all of the awkward silences and they are fully burdened with keeping the conversation going. Both extremes feel very uncomfortable, right? And there's something about, they appreciate when you come together, it just flows. And they feel like you both, I want to say output, which sounds so technical, but I guess you both bring equal output. If you are planning a hangout together or like planning something that you're working on or organizing together, they feel like you both are equally enthusiastic. You both put in equal effort. It just, your energy feels equal. And I don't mean that in like a hierarchical way. I mean that like you are both giving equal energy to the connection and it really shows. And you maybe even highlight some of their other connections or past connections where it's like, wow, the energy exchange is very imbalanced. Like, I'm giving way too much, or I'm not able to contribute anything because the other person is taking all control of it. So it just feels like equal and balanced and harmonious and perfect, like a perfect flow when it comes to you. I'm just hearing them like, we go so well together. We get along so well together. It feels effortless. I'm also hearing I could talk to you forever. Like, I would never get bored of talking to you. I would never get sick of being around you. I cannot imagine being around you and then being like, oh, I gotta get some time alone to recharge my battery. Like, no, you recharge my battery. Being with you recharges my battery. Like, I'm gonna be alone and then be like, I need to get me some group one. I need to recharge my energy. So I think they really, really appreciate you, and oh my gosh, this is so sweet. They have this feeling of, I must have done something right to have you in my life, or to have met you, you know? Like, if there's a higher power, they rewarded me because I did something right. That's how they feel about the fact that you exist, and the fact that you are in their life and choosing to engage with them and be in this connection with them. I think they're very, very grateful for it. In terms of their thoughts of the connection, we have the Star. So there's definitely something special about you that makes them feel a way they have never felt before. And the Star tells me that they are very hopeful about the connection. They believe that there is a potential for a bright future that exists with the two of you. I really love to see this because, you know, it's not always this way. In some readings, I will see that the person's like pessimistic about the future, but I feel like they're really, really hopeful. And I also do believe that, you know, we talked about you being frequently on their mind, and many of their thoughts may have to do with the future, like what they want to happen, what they wish would happen. So they may be like thinking about a future with you, or kind of daydreaming about what they want to happen in the future. I think as they get to know you more, they realize that you two kind of share the same quirks or eccentricities about you. Sometimes with the Star, I feel like a quote unquote black sheep energy. So you or your person may resonate with that, but the ways in which you go out of the box, the ways in which you do things differently, the ways in which your views may deviate from the popular opinion, I feel like you kind of match. Okay, this is just an example off the top of my head, but like an album I've been listening to recently, my favorite song off that album is like the least popular one. I mean, this is just in terms of number of streams, which I guess doesn't say much, but I kind of find that my favorite song off a project is often the one that people don't like that much. And I'm like, is my taste like weird? But you might have something like that with this person where you're kind of outside of the popular opinion, or like your tastes are a bit unconventional, or you have some like hot take or you just view things a bit differently than others. And you're like, no, but I get it. Like, you get each other in that regard. And I think they really appreciate that. And also, if you have any like weird habits, like little quirky habits or mannerisms about you, I think they find that very cute or like endearing. Okay, so now we get to their thoughts of the current circumstances, and we have the Four of Cups. They're bored, honey. Not that they're bored with you. I think maybe they haven't seen you in a while. Maybe they haven't talked to you in a while. Maybe they haven't gotten to spend like quality time with you in the way that they want, or things are not moving forward in the way that they want. They might feel a stagnation in the connection. Bored is not the right word. It's like disappointed. Yeah. And I'm even struggling with that word too, because it's like, you make them so happy. Maybe they're like getting bored with the universe's pace or like the universe's plan, or the rates at which things are developing, or the lack of developments altogether. They're like, they're anticipating something. And I feel like the universe is saying that's because you're supposed to take action, dummy. And they're like, surprise Pikachu. Yeah, they're feeling a little bit dissatisfied. Again, I have to be so clear, not with you, not with the connection, with the circumstances, with the way things are. So this very much translates to like, they're not seeing you as much as they want to. They're not getting closer to you and growing with you at the rate that they would like to. Well, they're also in their head, and being in your head slows things down. So I feel the universe being like, don't blame me. Don't blame me. You have to do something. You have to take action. if they were being, if they were being completely honest and completely unfiltered with you, their energy would be the Two of Swords. I don't know what to do and I want you to make the decision for me. If they were being so honest. I don't know, of course, I don't know your exact situation, but something that keeps coming through is that like the choice to move forward with you feels like difficult or complicated. And I very much think it has to do with some kind of external circumstances, because your dynamic together is so harmonious. There's no way this could be about them worrying that you won't be good together, like worrying that it won't work out. It has to be something about the external circumstances, like some other commitments that you have, some other commitments that they have, some difficulty that exists in your life, some difficulty that exists in their life, some kind of external struggle that they feel would get in the way, or something that would be hard to work out. And they're like, I don't know what to do, so I want you to make a move. Which, like, that means you know. That means you know you want it. You just don't want to be the one to initiate it? Is that, like... It's giving the vibe of when someone's like, oh, we can do whatever you want. And they're hoping that you will say the thing they secretly want to do. It's like, I want this partnership to happen. So like, I wish you would just make that decision so I don't have to take the scary leap. You know, it is kind of a passive energy. It's the moon in Libra. Like, it wants to default to the other person. And they're just feeling like, I don't know what to do. This is just if they're being really, really honest with you about, like, if they're being vulnerable with you. They have this level of confusion about how to go about things. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? We have the Six of Wands in reverse. So I feel like for this person, you're like their hero or their idol, or like they just look up to you so much. And I feel like you feel the same way about them. And they kind of lift you up by humbling themselves, is how this is coming through. But I feel like there's a part of them that maybe thinks like you're out of their league. Like, you're just so amazing. You're just so cool. And I just feel like I can't believe that I get to have this connection with you, and that we get along so well together, and that like you're choosing to be in my life. It's just like, it feels like a dream come true. And I do wonder if deep down all of this is like, all of this second guessing is like a part of them that wonders if it's too good to be true, or a part of them subconsciously that is struggling to give themselves an experience that their subconscious deems is too good to be true. Subconsciously, they kind of keep it out of reach because they've labeled it as a too good to be true thing. Maybe they've placed too much importance on it. Not that your connection isn't important, but when we place too much importance on something, we place it out of our reach. And our subconscious says, oh no, you can't have that. That's too big for you. That's too precious of a blessing for you. That's out of your league. So I think I don't want them to stop lifting you up. They just have to lift themselves up equally and realize that you're not out of reach. You're not too good to be true. And by the way, as I'm saying all of this, if it resonates in any way with your own thoughts and feelings, please claim these messages for yourself as well. Because I could see a dynamic where both of you want this relationship to grow into something more, and it feels too good to be true. And so you subconsciously like place it just out of reach, and your subconscious makes it feel like you can't have it. And it will, anytime you try to make a move, it will like scare you out of it. Okay, what should you know moving forward? From Spirit, Nine of Wands in reverse. What is the Nine of Wands in the upright? It's this feeling of you're almost there, just hang in a little bit longer. How much longer are we gonna do this? That's what Spirit is saying. The universe, like slash Spirit, is being kind of sassy in your reading today, group number one. Like I don't usually, I don't usually say things that bluntly or in a calling out fashion when I'm channeling messages from Spirit, but I think that's just maybe what you need. Like Spirit sitting you down, like, how much longer are we gonna do this? You've been almost there for months now, for years now, whatever it is. You've been so close, yet so far away for ages. Stop. And stop blaming me. I think the missing ingredient here is just someone needs to be bold. And it's not even bold. It's like, it's so obvious. It's like, I'm rubbing my temples, group number one. I feel like I'm watching a drama where, like, you know, these two characters are either like in love or they're meant to do something together. They're meant to join forces, and you're like screaming at the screen, like, and you just, can you just work it out? Like, mindsets become addictive and frequencies become addictive, even if they're not desirable. And I wonder if one or both of you, and addicted doesn't mean you like it or you want it, but it's, you get stuck in the habit of being there. I wonder if one or both of you are quote unquote addicted to this energy of like, I'm so close, we're almost there. Gives you something to strive for, gives you something just out of your reach. And Spirit's just saying, how much longer are we gonna do this? But that's all I'm saying. You could have been how you want to be with this person. You could have manifested it already. And you always can. The option's always gonna be there. But if you or your person find yourself like, how much longer? Why hasn't it happened yet? Just don't come blaming me. That's all I'm saying. This is your message from Spirit / the universe. So I think it is very much in your hands. And I think this Magician energy is really promising. This Mercury-Mars energy is really promising. Like, when I intend something, I'm going to do it. When I say something, I'm going to do it. I think it's just a matter of time before this energy spills over into the connection with you. So I'm excited for you, and I'm like, I feel like I don't know what this feeling is. What is it? Anticipation? Anxious? Eager? Or like, not urgent, but like, I'm on the edge of my seat. That's how I feel at the end of this reading. I'm on the edge of my seat. So something's got to happen between the two of you, okay? So we're gonna go into the extended now, where we see what they think your thoughts are. Will they take action towards you? If so, what is that action gonna be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move? Or how would they react if you told them how you truly feel? Then we will answer any yes or no question of your choice, including the reason why, and then finish off with time frames as well as signs and synchronicities that are significant to this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be available on Patreon or Vimeo. So it will be down below. I will meet you wherever you want to meet me. And if you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch the extended. You can also watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings. So that's gonna be linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the clear quartz, this is going to be your reading. There's a couple of intuitive messages coming through that I want to share with you. First is that I saw a hummingbird. Like, I had a very clear visual of a hummingbird in my mind's eye, and specifically I'm seeing like pink, green, little bit of purple on this hummingbird. Very cute, very beautiful. So that might be a significant sign for somebody. And then there was also a message coming through from your guides that right now or very soon, you may get the sense that you are being shown the same lesson again. Like, a lesson from the past is coming back up. And at first, you might feel a little bit of dread about this. Like, oh my gosh, universe, are you making me do this again? Like, didn't I learn this lesson? And your guides are saying, don't fear. Don't be afraid that you are somehow regressing back to the past, because you are not. You are not falling back into old patterns. That's not why this lesson is coming up again. In fact, this is an opportunity and an invitation to just look at this situation from a different perspective. This is an opportunity to glean something else from it, to see it in a whole different way. And you're not going to have to live through the same tests and the same adversities. Okay, interesting. The analogy that I'm being shown to illustrate this energy is like if you showed up back at your school and you're like, oh my God, are you gonna make me take all these lessons again? Are you gonna make me take all these exams again? And your guides are like, no, we wanna show you something else. Like, come down the halls with me. We're gonna give you a tour and show you something different. So your kind of internal alarm might be going off of, oh my God, do I have to redo a previous lesson? Am I falling back to old ways? And your guides are saying like, no, we actually wanna show you something different in this situation. And it's gonna be much easier and a much more elevated experience. I hope that makes sense. So let's get into the breakdown, the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. So here on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing your person's current energy, their current situation, what is going on with them right now, and where is their head at overall right now. Then we're going to see how they view you, and there's going to be a non-romantic component to this and a romantic component. So if the person you're asking about happens to be a romantic interest, then you can watch both of these. But if this is not a romantic connection, there's going to be timestamps so that you can just skip past these messages. Then we are going to dive into your person's thoughts of you, their thoughts of the connection, their thoughts of the current circumstances. What would they say if they were completely honest and unfiltered? In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? And what should you know moving forward? So this is going to be a message from Spirit about anything you should be aware of when it comes to this person, the connection, or just the journey overall. And then in the extended, we are going to see, what does your person think that your thoughts are of them? Will they take action towards you? If so, what will this action be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move, or how would they react if you told them your true feelings? Then we're going to answer a yes or no question, any question that you want to ask, including the reason why, and then we will finish off with time frames as well as signs and synchronicities that are significant to this connection. So that's how the reading is going to go today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So, what is going on with your person? Where is their head at? We have lapis lazuli with past life. Very interesting. We have Jupiter, Neptune. Is that? Okay, yeah, it's a number 48. It kind of looked like a 1, so I thought maybe it was 18, but it's 48. We have originality. The frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. We have bridge, successfully overcoming a problem, and cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. As I look at these cards, I'm wondering if perhaps your journey and your person's journey are mirroring each other. You may be going through similar things, similar experiences around the same time. Because I also get I also get the sense that your person is breaking some kind of cycle in their life, breaking free from old patterns. This originality card that talks about creating unlimited possibilities in every moment, there's a sense of freedom in that. You are not bound to repeat the same patterns, the same mistakes, the same undesirable experiences over and over and over again. At any moment, you can break free and create a new story. I feel like that is the theme of your person's experience and what they're going through right now. And past life, I mean, it could literally be talking about them breaking a pattern that has been following them for many lifetimes. Perhaps this even affects your connection. Like if you feel that you have a spiritual connection with this person that goes beyond this lifetime, they could be breaking free from patterns that have been affecting your connection for many lifetimes. If you don't resonate with having past lives with this person, it could, of course, just be something that has been affecting them on an individual level. And this past life could even just be talking about their past within this incarnation. Lapis lazuli always makes me think about clarity and seeing the truth. Like seeing the divine truth of a situation. So perhaps your person has come to a point where they're able to look at their past experiences with more objectivity and more clarity. And I'm hearing reality check. They're getting a reality check about the truth of their past. So for some of you, this is going to be that your person is looking back and maybe holding themselves accountable for things in their past and realizing how they could have done things differently and realizing how they were actually being controlled by their wounds, or they were perpetuating unhealthy patterns, and being able to take ownership of that. For others of you, your person could be looking back and realizing, wow, I was carrying burdens that I shouldn't have been carrying. Wow, that wasn't my fault at all. It's like they're able to look back with more clarity about what really happened in the past. And of course, it could be a combination of both of those energies, but I think they're letting go of a lot from their past right now. And with Jupiter and Neptune together, this right away gave me the feeling of a spiritual awakening. And I thought that this might be the number 18. It's 48, but when I thought it was 18, it was kind of reminding me of the moon, like the moon in tarot. They're making their unconscious conscious. And that's the first step, of course, to breaking unconscious patterns. Pisces energy could be significant because Jupiter and Neptune are both planets that rule over Pisces. And actually the moon card as well, which I thought of is related to the sign of Pisces. So that energy is coming through quite strongly. Or just like if the specific sign of Pisces doesn't resonate with you, I think there's going to be heavy themes of spirituality and working with the subconscious and working with more subtle, unseen energies in this reading, or at least that's what your person seems to be dealing with right now. I think they're experiencing a heightened sensitivity and a heightened awareness they're simultaneously feeling like part of something bigger, but also more in control and having more sovereignty. And I like these two cards together as well because we have dissatisfaction with life and successfully overcoming a problem. Yeah, this is totally giving the vibe of having a spiritual awakening, because there's a feeling that your person had gone through a period where they just felt like something was missing. They just felt there was a bit of emptiness in them, or they were dissatisfied with life, but they couldn't quite figure out what it was. And now they've figured it out because they've made their unconscious conscious. And I think they're sort of developing a relationship with their spirituality too. So it's looking good for them. I think you're going to see a lot of, I want to say maturation, if that's how you pronounce it, them becoming mature in the next times you see them, becoming more introspective, more thoughtful, more insightful. Maybe you're going to start to have like deeper conversations with them, or more intimate heart to hearts. They're able to look at themselves with more objectivity. So if you have found that, for example, if you found that your person tends to be unrealistically hard on themselves, you may notice in your next interactions that they're not doing that anymore. And they're actually giving themselves the kindness they deserve and giving themselves the credit they deserve. This is how they view themselves in a more objective way. On the other hand, if you've noticed that sometimes your person tends to lack accountability and not see their own weaknesses, then in your next interactions, you'll see that they've had a bit of a reality check and seen areas in which they could improve. So there's this increased sense of self-awareness, I think, that's happening with your person. So we're going to see how they view you. And I'm going to start with the messages that are not romantic in nature. I invite everybody to listen to these messages, but if you just want to skip right ahead to the romantic stuff, then this is the timestamp to do that, and it's going to be down below as well. How does group number 2's person view them? I'm also hearing the veil is thin. Perhaps the veil is thin between your person and the spirit realm, like they're feeling the presence of their guides. It could also be, like, for those of you who resonate with having like a spiritual connection with this person, the telepathy between the two of you, the more subtle communication between the two of you could also be heightened right now. You're sort of picking up on each other's thoughts. I'm thinking of instances where, you know, there will be times where you think of someone and then a few minutes later they send you a message, or you kind of know what someone is going to say before they say it. Things like that could start happening with your person if they're not already. That's too many, but that was 5 cards. 5 cards just fell out. I wonder if 5 is the number of change. So I wonder if the way they view you, interesting, because the way they view themselves has definitely changed recently. So it makes sense that if they've been sort of changing their perception of themselves, then they're also going to be changing their perception of past interactions that they've had with you. Their ability to see themselves in a different light, by extension of that, they can see you in a different light. I'm thinking of that expression or that saying, you can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. So if they're able to meet themselves on a deeper level now, then it follows that they will be able to see you on a deeper level too. They may be starting to get clarity about why you've said the things you've said in the past and why you behaved certain ways in the past. Things that you've said to them in the past could be finally clicking now. Maybe before they just weren't ready to hear what you were really trying to say, but now they get it. We have the 3 of air, sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. Okay, so this is giving me a bit of a feeling of regret that provides context to some of the messages we've been talking about. I think as they are having this new perception of themselves and this new perception of you, they are probably thinking quite a bit about things they would have said and done differently. I had this visual of someone going over old text messages. It's like they're going over a conversation that they had with you and reading what you said and being like, oh my God, back in the moment, I didn't take it that way at all. They're seeing your words in a completely new way. And I think they're finally understanding the true intention of what you were trying to convey to them, because they're not seeing it through this lens of defensiveness or insecurity or like a lack of self-awareness. They're seeing it through a clearer lens now and seeing how you really cared about them. You were really trying to help them. You were really trying to open up. You were trying to share your truth. And they're like, oh my God, like, am I reading the same message? Because the me from the past took this a completely different way. I can't believe I was seeing things through that lens. And them being able to see you in a new light, it's kind of giving like, oh my gosh, group number 2 was right, or group number 2 had a point. Group number 2 was trying to help me. So I do think they're looking back on previous interactions with a bit of regret. Okay, let's see what we have for romantic messages. If you want to skip this, this is the timestamp to do that. It's going to be down below as well. How does group number 2's person view them in a romantic sense? I'm seeing roses, and this is translating to me as some kind of gesture that they want to make you. If you just listen to this previous message as well, it does seem like there's something that they want to apologize for. They want to make it up to you in some way. And this could be something that you were hurt by. But for some of you, it's going to be different for everybody. But I feel like for some of you, whatever they've done that they're regretting, like some of you are thinking, yeah, that was a big deal and you hurt me. Others of you might not even feel from your perspective that it was that big of a deal. But maybe to them it is. You might be like, no, it's okay, don't worry. And they're like, no, it's not okay, group number 2. I'm really sorry about that. So whatever the case may be for you, whether you're more on the side of, yeah, that really did hurt me, or, oh my gosh, no, it's okay. Just know that they do want to make it up to you. And I feel like that visual of the rose that I saw was representing some kind of vulnerable and heartfelt gesture. They do want to show you more of their sensitive side because they themselves are now more in touch with their sensitive side. So you're probably going to notice that with them in your next interactions. They're not afraid to show their emotional side anymore, especially because they've seen how harmful it can be when you hide your emotions. Okay, we have 2 cards coming out together. And that's interesting. They're cards that go in order, like the 7 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, this person definitely wants to make some kind of concrete offer to you or make a concrete gesture towards you. When we have Pentacles in a relationship reading, and specifically in this part of the reading, this is about romance. Pentacles indicate to me actual action, okay? It's not just a person saying something or thinking about something or wanting to do something. They're backing that with action. This person wants to start over with you. Like if you have a history with this person, it's like they want to start over, or they want to turn over a new leaf with you and have a more positive next chapter. They want to, if you resonate with that message of them wanting to make something up to you, they definitely want to do that with actions and really show that they have grown and they have learned and they have changed. And so with that being said, I feel like they're definitely taking their time. The 7 of Earth, yeah, investment, assessment, patience. It's a slower energy. And just the fact that we have 2 Earth cards, and this one talks about patience, this one talks about like working hard and taking your time. I don't necessarily think they're in a rush to start something with you, because somehow they feel like if they were to come back too soon, it will seem insincere. So just for one example to illustrate this energy, it would be like if this person betrayed you and then a week later they're coming back like, I'm sorry, I've changed. Can you give me another chance? And it's like, how much could you have actually reflected, thought about what you've done, and changed your ways and grown as a person in a week? You know, it sounds a little bit fishy. It sounds like, oh, I'm just desperate to have you back. So perhaps in their mind, they feel like it hasn't been enough time, or they've objectively assessed that they haven't grown in the ways that they would like to, or they haven't healed in the ways that they would like to. They really want to make sure that this pattern has been broken for good. And they really are putting in the work, okay? These are not just intentions. This is not just them saying, I want to grow, I want to change. They are actually putting in the work to do that. They could be going to therapy, for example. They could be talking to people in their life. They could be journaling. They could be changing their habits in their daily routine to become a version of themselves that they more so want to be. They have changed things in their life to become the person who they feel is worthy of you. Education, focus, details. Yeah, I feel like this person is working very hard. They're very motivated to become a better version of themselves. And they want to make this offer to you in a meaningful way that you know it's not just them trying to win over your affection as quickly as possible, but that they actually have something of substance to offer you. And more importantly, they have more than before, something different and something better than before. And so they want to make sure that they can objectively see like, yes, I have changed. Yes, I have evolved, before they try, like, because they want to make it work and they want to do it right. So that's the vibe that I'm getting with these. Now we are going to see their thoughts of you. So, what are your person's thoughts of you? we have the Three of Cups in reverse, and I have been keeping reversals today. For their thoughts of the connection, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. For their thoughts of the circumstances, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. What would they say to you if they were being completely honest and unfiltered? We have two cards coming out together. Wow, the Knight of Swords upright and the Two of Cups upright. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? Two coming out at the same time again. The Queen of Pentacles upright and the Three of Wands upright. And then finally, what does Spirit want you to know moving forward? The Seven of Swords in reverse. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's get into it. Their thoughts of you are the Three of Cups in reverse. For those of you who are asking about a romantic interest, well, actually, this doesn't have to be inherently romantic because the message is that they're serious about you. Like, they're serious about having this relationship, this partnership with you. They are committed to you. They're not interested in anyone else. They're not interested in like choosing someone else over you or anything like that. They really are fixed on you and serious about making things work with you. For some of you, in the case that this is a romantic interest, there could be a message here of I see you as more than a friend, or the way I view you, it's not in like a casual way. I don't take our connection lightly. I don't take the situation lightly. Like, they want you to know that they are serious. That is the nature of their thoughts of you. And with their thoughts of the connection, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this gives the feeling of recovering something that you've lost. So, I mean, I've sort of picked up on this energy earlier in the reading, but it does seem like for some of you, maybe there was a falling out with this person, or maybe there's been a conflict recently, or maybe you sort of drifted apart, or are just feeling like you're not as close as you once were. And I definitely feel like there are some good days, some happy days in the past that they think about a lot. They think about those lighthearted times that they had with you, and they want to get that back. But this time, with more grounding or in a more meaningful way. There's a message coming through. I don't know if this is for everyone, but they realize that in the past, they tried to rush through your relationship to get to the good part. That's how it's coming through, without taking the time to really build a foundation of trust, or just build a solid foundation with you. They just wanted to skip to the good part or skip to the easy part. But when you're building something, you have to do the hard work of building the foundation, and then you can enjoy it. Then it becomes fun and easy. You have to like build that closeness first. Okay, this is a very good example to illustrate this energy. Best friends are allowed to roast each other because they've built that foundation of I love you. Like, I love you. I think you're the best person in the world, and I would never mean you any harm. So best friends are allowed to make playful jabs at each other because they've established that foundation that it's all love and our intentions are always good. You cannot just go up and playfully roast a stranger because you haven't established that foundation. I mean, you can, but it's kind of like a toss of the dice. You don't know how they're going to react to that. So in some way, like if you can apply that energy to this connection, they maybe tried to skip ahead to a certain level of closeness with you, or skip ahead to a certain level of ease with you without really laying that groundwork. And I feel like that's something they're reflecting on. So they want to go back to those good, lighthearted, easy times, but this time with a solid foundation underneath you. I hope that that makes sense. So the way they see it, they feel that there is hope. They're sort of feeling like they could make things work with you, that they could turn a new leaf with you. I do feel hope with this Five of Pentacles in reverse, but there is also a bit of confusion or indecision with the Ace of Swords in reverse, and this represents how they view the circumstances. So maybe they're unsure if they are ready yet. Maybe they're unsure if enough time has passed. This could also be that they're unsure how to approach you. They're unsure how to reach out with you, especially because the Ace represents a beginning. There could be a feeling of, what do I lead with? They know what they want to say to you, but it's like, do I lead with that? Do I just reach out and say, hey, group number 2, this is what I want to talk about? Or what should I initiate with? How do I start this conversation? Or what's the best way to put this into words? This is the energy of someone playing out potential scenarios in their head. Maybe they play out conversations with you and how it could go. Maybe they type out messages and then delete it. And maybe they're writing something in their notes app. It's like they're thinking a lot about what they want to say to you, but with the current circumstances, with the current situation, maybe they wonder if it's the best time, or if they're ready, or if you're ready for that. And then in terms of, this was, what would they say to you if they were completely honest and unfiltered? I mean, you have the Two of Cups here. So, okay. This is kind of embarrassing, but I thought this was giving me, is it centaur when it's half human, half horse? Just because of how puffy the skirt is, it kind of looked like a centaur. I wonder if Sagittarius energy could be significant as well, because that's what Sag is. But yeah, with the Two of Cups here, they feel in some way like you are their person. You are their match, that you go together. Maybe they feel like you are meant to be together, or you are meant to have this partnership. And I think that deep down, they're really hoping that you feel the same way, that you also feel this affection towards them, that you also desire to make this partnership work. For those of you who do feel like this is a spiritual connection, then I would say that they think you are their soulmate. But of course, that depends on the type of connection you're asking about. In any case, I do feel like they see you as someone who is meant to be in their life, and they're not going to let this connection go so easily. They want this union with you. They want this partnership with you. That's literally the Two of Cups. And they're ready to fight for it, and they're ready to say what they need to say. And I do feel like your person has no problem initiating this. They have no problem being the one to make the move towards you and say their piece, and say how they're feeling, and clear the air about the past. They have no problem being the one to initiate that. So I think it's more so just about, how do I do it? When do I do it? But you're in their thoughts and you're in their heart. That much is very clear. For how they communicate their feelings to you, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is kind of nice because it means that they are willing to go out of their comfort zone to communicate their feelings, and they're willing to do things that they may not be used to. So an example that's coming to my mind is someone who's willing to go outside of their usual love language to make sure that you feel the love and affection from them. So just an example, right? But let's say your love language was you like to receive words of affirmation, but then they feel like they're not the best at words. well, they're going to challenge themselves to do it. They're going to try. Even if that's not how they naturally give love, they're going to go out of their comfort zone to make sure that you receive their love. They're willing to do that. And this is also a confirmation that they're willing to make the first move. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, again, this is making me think, I'm thinking back to those roses. I feel like they might give you a gift, or they might they're going to give you some kind of tangible gesture, whether that's a gift or fixing something for you or a big gesture that would help you. It is something concrete, something meaningful, something substantial. Oh my gosh, no, I can't tell that story. But there was a time where I was upset at someone and I was like, oh my God, I wasted all this money. And then shortly after, they came with an envelope with like a shit ton of money in it. And they were like, I can't reverse what happened, but I can give you this. And I was like, well, actually I did take it, but then I ended up giving it back because we made up. But it's, you know, that's a tangible thing to be like, I want to make this up for you for any lost time, for any lost resources, for any way that you were inconvenienced, for any way that your life was messed up. I'm going to concretely do something to make that up to you. So I feel like definitely they are going to come through with acts of service. We talked about this. I don't know if you watched this part with the 7 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, but they're gonna come through with actions, backing their feelings with actions. So you can see the proof and believe them. They don't want you actually to just take their word for it. They want to come with the proof, and they're willing to do something that is bigger than what they're used to, that is grander than what they're used to, that that requires them to make the first move and even be a bit out of their comfort zone or do something that they don't usually do. It's kind of giving I'll do anything, because like I said, they don't take this lightly. They don't take you lightly, and they feel like you are their match and their person. What Spirit wants you to know is the 7 of Swords in reverse. And that says so clearly that you can trust this person's intentions. If you're familiar with the 7 of Swords, you'll know that in the upright, it would indicate that there's some funny business going on, that you cannot trust what this person says. They're not showing you the whole truth. Their intentions are kind of sketchy. In the reverse, it means that there's no funny business going on, that any illusions have already been, or any deceptions, I should say, any deceptions have already been brought to light. And when this person comes clean, you can trust that they are really coming clean and that you know everything now. I feel like they've had such an awakening that they don't want to hide anymore, whether that's hiding their true feelings, hiding their true intentions, hiding actions, hiding information, whatever it is, they're done with that. And they're also done with being indirect. Like they're done with being indirect, they're done with being unclear. The 7 of Swords in reverse feels like laying everything out on the table so that there is no room for doubt and no room for confusion. So Spirit is saying you can trust this. And I just saw 3737. That might be significant for someone. But yeah, that's a very clear message from Spirit. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder. You don't have to be doubtful. It's understandable if maybe you are. Like, I don't know exactly what you've gone through, but I think Spirit just wants to reassure you of that. So this is everything I'm seeing. We're going to go over to the extended now, where we see what they think your thoughts are of them. Will they take action towards you? If so, what is that action going to be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move towards them? Or how would they react if you told them your true feelings? Then we're going to answer a yes or no question, any question of your choice, including the reason why. And finally, we're going to see significant timeframes as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. So if you would like to join me in the extended, it's going to be on Patreon or Vimeo. So you can meet me wherever works best for you. The links for both will be down below. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch these extendeds. You can watch also full-length exclusive pick a card readings over there, so I'll have that link down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi number threes. So if you guys chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. I want to start by sharing the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. So we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Here on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing your person's current energy, their current situation, what's going on with them right now, and where is their head at right now. Then we are going to see how your person views you, and there's going to be a non-romantic interpretation of this and a romantic interpretation. So if the connection you're asking about does happen to be a romantic interest, you'll probably want to watch both of these. But if it is strictly non-romantic, then there's going to be a timestamp that you can go to skip the romantic messages. Then we are going to dive into your person's thoughts of you, their thoughts of the connection, their thoughts of the current circumstances you're in. What would they say to you if they were completely honest and unfiltered with you? In what ways does this person communicate their feelings to you? And a message from Spirit regarding what you should know moving forward about this person, about the connection, about the journey overall, anything Spirit wants to leave you with at the end of this reading. And then in the extended, we are going to see what your person thinks that your thoughts are of them. Is this person going to take action towards you? If so, what will that action be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would your person react if you made a move towards them? Or how would they react if you told them your true feelings? Then we're going to answer a yes or no question, and this can be any question of your choice, including the reason why. And then finally, we will see time frames as well as signs and synchronicities that could be significant to this connection. So that's going to be the full reading today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. Group number 3, what is the current energy or the current situation of the person on your mind? Okay, these are going to be upside down. We have Shadowkite with Teacher. We have Mars Chiron and 222 as I'm holding this up. Honesty. The energy of honesty supports our choice to be courageously truthful and genuine with kindness and tact. We also have Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. And Dolphin. Financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. So starting here with Teacher, for a few of you, this could be a literal interpretation. Like the person you're asking about could be a teacher, but in a more metaphorical sense, it could be that this person has taught you a lot about yourself, about life. Maybe they've taught you a lot in your spiritual journey. You may consider them a mentor or a guide, someone you look up to. Something else that is also coming through is that even if this person hasn't necessarily sat down and taught you something directly, it could be that you just learn a lot by watching them, by observing them. And I do feel like spiritually, they kind of have that role for you. Like they are in your life to illuminate something to you, to open your eyes to something, to a new way of living, I just heard. So maybe that's for some of you, to a new way of living, or maybe open your eyes to the way that you would like to live, to the type of world that you want to live in, or just open your eyes to more things about yourself. I want to use the word illuminating again. So I just think that this person's soul has an illuminating and enlightening presence to you. In some way, they guide the way for you. They could be, because this is about their current situation as well, they could be in an era of their life where they are learning a lot about themselves and they are having something of an awakening. It's very interesting to me that we have this message of honesty, and things will not always be this way. So maybe your person has had to be very honest with themselves recently about something in their life that is meant to end. Like it was never supposed to be this way forever. And a caterpillar, as we know, is going to turn into a butterfly. So I would not be surprised if your person is about to go through a major transformation. If you do have a spiritual connection to this person, you've maybe kind of felt that energy within you, like, oh, they're about to go through something huge, or maybe just from watching and observing them, you've picked up on that. But I can confirm with this reading that they are about to go through a huge change in their life. And I feel like this energy has been brewing for quite some time, but change is always challenging and it can be bittersweet. And so maybe this is a change that needs to happen, but that they've been putting off, but not anymore. They can't stay in their comfort zone anymore. They have to see, I'm hearing like, I have to see what is beyond this. It could have to do with their career, because we have this card talking about financial gain coming from something you did in the past. So maybe they want to change the way that they make money, or they want to change, their profession, their career path, what they do in the world. In any case, I feel like your person is in an environment that they're realizing they have outgrown. They need to spread their wings and become a butterfly. And this feels like something, it's time to face the truth. It's time to be honest with myself. Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing in this old way of being? What am I doing repeating the same things again and again? Like, I need something different. I need a new challenge. Maybe it's even like, I'm not learning here. I feel like I'm not learning here. I'm not growing. It's just the same stuff again and again. I want to achieve something new. I wonder if I feel like you're aware of this on some level. So you've either picked up on this from them energetically, or maybe they've actually spoken to you about it. But I feel like this is what they're going through right now. And I'm hearing honesty is refreshing. So they've reached a place where they can be really honest with themselves about what they want moving forward. And that is refreshing to them. Like, I don't have to hide what I truly want. I don't have to be inauthentic with myself. I don't have to pretend that everything's okay. I can be honest with myself now and say that I want a change. We have Mars and Chiron here, so your person could have wounds surrounding, it's either around being assertive or putting themselves first, which I feel like those two can be interconnected. Something else that I thought when this card came out is that 222 appeared on the camera timer when I was showing this. And I wondered if there was a message there about you and this person having similar wounds, having had similar painful experiences in the past. And this allows you to relate to each other, and it also helps you heal each other. Perhaps whatever they're going through is something that you've gone through recently, that you've healed recently, and so you can help them, and vice versa. The wounds that you are working through right now, I'm hearing they have the medicine, they have the solution. You know each other's wounds very well because it mirrors what you have been through yourself. And I feel like you can play a very important role in each other's healing. They're being honest with themselves as well, that they've known for a long time that this change needs to happen in their life. And the reason they haven't been able to do it is because they weren't making themselves a priority. Maybe they were putting everybody else first, or they were afraid to speak up. They were afraid to take a risk or take a leap of faith. But yeah, that's the message that is most strongly coming through. We have the numbers 23 and 40 here. So those could be significant to someone. Now we're going to take a look at how this person views you. So I'm going to start with the non-romantic interpretation. This message is going to be for everyone, but if you want to skip forward to the romantic stuff, there will be a timestamp here, and there's also going to be one that you can click down below. How does group number 3's person view them from a non-romantic perspective? I feel like this is someone who you've either known each other for a long time, or they know you very well. I do feel like this is someone who knows you well and who sees you accurately. We have the Ace of Fire. Okay, so you have been inspirational to this person. I was getting the feeling at the start of the reading that they have taught you a lot and they have opened your eyes to a lot of things. And now with the Ace of Wands here, I'm definitely seeing that this is mutual. You are a source of inspiration and a source of motivation for this person. Depending on how close you are with them, for some of you, I'm hearing like you are what keeps me going. So for some of you, like this person cares about you really, really deeply, and you are the reason they can get up and keep going. That they can wake up, go to work, do what they need to do every day. Keeping you in their mind is what gives them strength and what pulls them through. If you are not that close with this person and that's not really resonating, at the very least, you are a huge inspiration to them. And I do think there's really a part of them that wants to make you proud, and you do make them want to be better and better at what they're doing. And when I say better at what they're doing, what I'm hearing is that this doesn't necessarily mean like I want to be more skilled or I want to be more successful. It actually means I want to be more authentic. I want to be more true to myself. I think that's how this person would define good at what you do. If you're able to do it in a way that is authentic, in a way that is true to you, in a way that you can be yourself. Can you convey your essence, or can you convey the energy of your soul? Are you in your element? I think for them, success is measured by authenticity. And you really inspire them to be more and more authentic. You may notice that and this is something that's come through in all of the groups, so I wonder if it's a collective energy. I'm noticing people becoming more vulnerable and being able to have honest conversations about topics that maybe were once difficult to address, like out of fear of being misunderstood, or maybe it's a heavy topic, maybe it's a kind of an emotional topic. People are opening up, people are being vulnerable, people are coming clean. That's sort of been an energy hovering over the collective in this reading. We also have the Chariot. Yeah, this is really, really strong vibes of motivation and inspiration. I'm noticing as well, we have a 1-7, and it's just making me think of 17, the number of the star. I think that you make this person believe that the future is bright, and you make them want to keep going. Like, obviously you boost their willpower, and obviously they want you to be proud of them. I'm hearing something like, I want you to be proud to call me your blank. Whatever your relationship is to this person, whether it's like friend, partner, family member, boss, whatever, to be like, yep, that's my best friend. Like whatever it is, they want you to be proud to say like, that's my insert relationship here. And they want you to keep supporting them. Even if it's just with your emotions, even if it's just in spirit. I think knowing that they have your support means a lot to them. And I'm also hearing that you give them a superpower. There's really something that this person does well, and they feel like they wouldn't be able to do it without you. Without your support, without the inspiration that you give them. You give them energy, you give them vitality. They're saying like, I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I think this person has a lot of gratitude towards you and just a lot of gratitude that you exist and they're able to connect with you and exist in the same world as you. And okay, this is getting a bit into the honest and unfiltered stuff, because this person is really happy to see you succeed and spread your wings. But if they were being really unfiltered, they might tell you that there's a part of them that is afraid that you would outgrow them as your wings get bigger and bigger, as you soar higher and higher. Like, for some of you, I'm hearing like you'll forget about me, or you'll move on, or you'll outgrow me. I don't think they would ever admit this, because I think this is kind of an unfiltered thought, but there's a part of them that is worried about you doing better than them. And I don't think they're like proud to feel this way. And it's not like they want to keep you small or they want you to stop striving for more and more and more. I think it's more of this fear of they're gonna outgrow me. That's how I'm perceiving it. Okay, so let's look at the messages that are romantic in nature. So if you want to skip past this part, there's going to be a timestamp that you can click down below. Yeah, I was kind of talking about this in the last part, and this is not an inherently romantic message at all, but I do feel like there's some area in which this person is like ahead of you. It's interesting that teacher came out, because in a teacher-student dynamic, obviously like the teacher is ahead of the student, more advanced than the student. And I feel like there's some area that this person is more advanced than you, and they kind of know that eventually you're going to surpass them. And I think they feel simultaneously proud of you, but also kind of, it maybe triggers an insecurity that they don't necessarily identify with it, but they're aware of it. Like it's there, it passes through their mind. How does group number 3's person view them in a romantic sense? We have the Knight of Earth, the Knight of Pentacles. So again, I feel like I said this already, but I think this person knows you very well, whether you've known them for a long time or not. I feel like they know you very well, and it's probably, I do think that you're quite similar. The experiences that you've lived through are similar. It could be that your personalities are similar as well, but I'm just looking at the way this knight is clutching onto the coin. And there's this feeling of I don't want to let go of you, or I'm not going to. I'm not going to let go of you because I know how precious you are. There's something about you that is rare. They've never found anybody like you, and it's quite likely that they believe they never will find somebody else like you. Someone like you is really hard to come by. Someone who is in it for the long haul. With the Knight of Pentacles here, they definitely see a long-term future with you, want you in their life in the long-term future. There's just this feeling of like, if it's not you, I wouldn't find anybody else. There is a feeling with the Knight of Pentacles of someone taking things slowly. It's a slowly but surely kind of energy. So it's slow, but it's not an energy of delays or wasting time. It's time that is spent deliberately because someone wants to do something in the right way. And that's also a message that has been coming up quite a bit in the reading today. Like, we're sure about what we want to do, but we're taking our time because we want to do it the right way and we want to do it in a meaningful way. Like, we are in no rush to get to the finish line. So I think this person is quite certain about the future they want with you, but they are in no way rushing. And I think as well, there is an element of this person wanting to support you, provide for you, and protect you. Okay, so let's take a deep dive now into their thoughts of you. And for this part, I am going to take reversals. So what are your person's thoughts of you? We have the King of Wands in the upright. What are their thoughts of the connection between the two of you? Judgment in reverse. What are their thoughts of the current circumstances? Ten of Wands in reverse. What would they say to you if they were completely honest and unfiltered? Four of Cups in reverse. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? The Lovers in reverse. And what should you know moving forward? What does Spirit want you to know? The Five of Wands. Okay, so we're starting with the King of Wands in the upright for this person's thoughts of you. And I've been kind of picking up on this throughout the reading, but this person sees you as a badass and as someone who is capable of anything. They see you as someone who really knows who they are and who knows their worth, and they see you as someone who is incredibly talented, and they also see you as someone who's admired by many, many people. There's this feeling coming up more and more that this person wants to feel needed by you, because there's been messages that they want to provide for you, they want to protect you, they want you to be like proud of them and look up to them. They want to feel needed. And again, I feel like this may be something that you get glimpses of through their actions and through the things that they say to you. Like, that kind of sentiment is embedded in there. I don't necessarily know if it's something they would outright say to you. Like, I want you to need me. But that feeling is there if they're being very honest. But the fact of the matter is that they don't think that you need them. Like, they see you as someone who's very independent, who's capable of taking care of yourself on your own, of reaching your goals on your own. And I was talking about this before as well, but I think they feel in many ways you have surpassed them in certain levels on your journey, in your personal growth, in your self-realization or the realization of your goals. They may feel in some way that the tables have turned, like they were, and I feel it's weird. I feel like this is maybe based in their ego or based in their fears, because you can exist in this dynamic mutually supporting each other and mutually lifting each other up, and that will be very beautiful. But I feel like the way they see it, if they're being unfiltered, is like it started out that you were the one looking up to them and catching up to them, and now it's kind of the tables have turned and you are more advanced than them in some way, and they are very impressed by you. They're not surprised that you have come this far and that you have grown this much. They're like, yep, I knew group number 3 was going to do it, because they see how capable and how talented you are and how badass and independent you are. But yeah, like if we're being unfiltered, I feel like this person might compare themselves to you sometimes and feel like you are ahead of them. And it's not like they want to be better than you. I think it's just that maybe when they look at your journey and how you've gone through so much growth, in contrast to that, they maybe feel like they're stagnating. They maybe feel like they've slowed down, and they wonder if they're going to have an era of growth like that again. I think that I want to be careful with how I word this, because the message that's coming through is that, okay, yeah, it's not that you've triggered their insecurities, it's that you've shined a light on them. You in no way played a part in putting them there, but you shined a light on them so that they can observe them and be honest with themselves. And that's probably why Chiron is here as well, because Chiron represents like our wounds and our healing, things that need to be healed. And they're going to heal their wounds through action. I think you've helped them realize that they need to make changes in their mindset and they need to make changes in their life. And I think and if you resonate with this as well, maybe you want to claim this for yourself too, but I think there's a dynamic that needs to be like uninstalled from this connection of like, I'm looking up to you or you're looking up to me. No, you are looking at each other. You are inspiring each other. You are supporting each other. You are providing for each other. You are both gifted. You are both successful. You are thriving together. There's no tables turning. You're both here together. That's how you will advance and truly thrive. And maybe you are meant to like work on something together or build something together or just build a beautiful future together. But I feel like you're like this white unicorn and black unicorn, like the yin and yang. The chariot cannot fly with just one of you. It takes both of you. And the reason the chariot can go forward is because you're both equally strong and powerful. So yeah, they definitely find you to be very, very gifted and talented and amazing. And I want to say badass again. I feel like it's the third time I've said that, but I guess that would just be a word that they describe you with. I think group number 3, I feel like you've done a lot of cool shit in your life and achieved a lot of very impressive things that you maybe downplay or don't give yourself a lot of credit for. Some of you have experienced way more in your lifetime than most people who are much older than you have experienced. I think you have a lot of fire in you with this King of Wands, or you have that spark in you. You have a really strong life force in you, and this person definitely sees that. In terms of their thoughts of the connection, we have Judgment in reverse. For some reason, when I look at this Judgment card in reverse, I'm thinking South Node. So I don't know if you know this person's birth chart, but there may be some synastry with your nodes that is significant. I would bet that this person feels a kind of, I want to say eerie, like an eerie familiarity with you, where they could have sworn that they've known you before, that they've known you for a million years. Very interesting. I've said a few times already in this reading that they know you very well, like they see you accurately. Even if you haven't known each other for that long in this lifetime, it's like they feel like they know you from another life, just with how familiar you are and how well you know each other. And I think that deep down they have this feeling that you are meant to do something, work on something, create something, build something together. You have some kind of joint mission or purpose. I think they feel that. That's what they feel about this connection. However, they may not feel like that has been fulfilled. And maybe they feel like they haven't done the best job of honoring that pull that they feel, honoring that calling that they feel. I can definitely relate to this energy because there's been some things that I've felt called to for years that I feel in my soul, like I meant to do this, and yet I don't act much on it. So I feel like in some way they're feeling that with this connection, that there's been certain calls from their soul about moving towards you or about what they're meant to do with you, and they haven't really been heeding, I think is the word. They haven't really been heeding those calls and really doing their best to honor that. And that's coming back to here as well. Like there's this reality check that they're going through. They have to be honest with themselves that it's not that I didn't hear the call. I did hear it and I just didn't answer it. And that's maybe difficult for them to be honest about. Your person's maybe been self-sabotaging in some ways within this connection, but I also think overall, maybe there's been certain ways in which they have been impeding their own growth or impeding their own journey towards their purpose. And I definitely think that you've been shining a light on that for them. In terms of what they feel about the circumstances between the two of you, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. This is kind of about the circumstances, but also another message about the connection and how they've been experiencing it. There's something about them feeling like the energy has been getting lighter between the two of you. Heavier energies are dissolving. Maybe there's some resistance in this connection that has been dissolving. Some barriers they feel are coming down, or you're going to start feeling that quite soon. So I think they do like the direction that things are going in. But I also think that this ties in as well to how they view the connection. They are realizing that they've had a lot of resistance within this connection, and they've brought some heavy energy into it, and they don't want to do that anymore. And I wonder if the heavy energy has to do with their own hang-ups, their own baggage, their own insecurities that has made the dynamic between the two of you unnecessarily heavy. And there maybe was a time where they mistakenly thought that the energy of this connection was just inherently heavy. Like this dynamic it feels like resistance. It feels like a heavy energy. And then they're like, oh wait, no, that's just my own stuff that I'm bringing into the connection. And if I heal it, then the connection's not going to feel heavy anymore because I'm not carrying around the heavy energy. So I think they're realizing that there's some environment they've outgrown that they need to move out of, and baggage that needs to be released, and they're feeling that that is going to make the energy of this connection so much lighter and so much more enjoyable for both of you. I'm hearing the word renaissance, which is like a rebirth. So perhaps you're about to have some kind of renaissance or rebirth energy in this connection where things are feeling lighter, feeling better. There could be a sense of things going back to how they used to be, but in a good way. So like if you have a really happy past and fond memories with this person, I feel like the energy is going to be going back to that. But there's definitely like heavy baggage or a heavy burden that is being removed, or resistance that is being dissolved, and barriers that are going away. And I'm hearing real or perceived. So a real or perceived barrier in this connection is going away. What would they say to you if they were being completely honest and unfiltered? I feel like we've kind of talked about that a lot, but what they would say to you, another thing they would say to you, is that they act nonchalant on purpose. So if you've looked at this person and thought like, oh, they don't care, they don't notice, they're not that affected, they're not that phased, they're not that moved, they're acting that way on purpose. So this is just one example that's coming to my mind to illustrate the energy, so you can apply it to your situation. But I'm seeing a situation where maybe you gave them like a really big compliment, or you were very affectionate towards them, and they were just like, thank you. Like totally monotone, maybe didn't even smile. They're just like, thank you, I appreciate it. And they're doing that on purpose. That's what they would tell you if they were being honest. It's not that they're unmoved. It's not that they're nonchalant. It's like they have this thing, I want to say chip on their shoulder. They have this thing about being stoic, where on the inside, they're probably like internally crying about how sweet your words were. And maybe it's something around being sappy, or they're still getting comfortable with being vulnerable. And this could be something that happens outside of your connection as well. It could just be something they do in general, that they act a bit more like cool and unbothered by everything, but on the inside they are very emotional. And those emotions are still living inside them. So just because they weren't expressed in the moment, it doesn't mean they're gone. So as this person learns to be more expressive, you'll probably hear about a lot of the emotions they felt in the past. So in that example where you give them like a big compliment, or you give them a lot of affection, and in that moment they were feeling overwhelmed with gratitude, well, that gratitude didn't get expressed. So where you think it is, it's still in there. So when they open that emotional floodgate, that gratitude is going to come out. It doesn't just go away just because you didn't express it. Emotions have to flow. They have to go somewhere. And if you want to hold it in, okay, well, it's just going to be held there until it flows somewhere at a later date. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying it in such a silly way, but just know that anything that went unexpressed by them is still in there, and it has to come out at some point or another. But I feel like you know this person really well too, so they probably didn't fool you when they were acting stoic and nonchalant. They probably didn't fool you. But if they were being honest and unfiltered, they would tell you that. Like, oh, I was actually really touched in that moment. Like, I cried when I got home. I just didn't show it to you kind of vibes. Okay. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? Okay, this Lover's card in reverse actually makes a lot of sense now, because when it came out, I was like, oh, they don't really. Like, they don't really communicate it. And I feel like the Lovers in reverse is an indication that this is not just with you. Now, it may be a little bit heightened with you because you're special to them, So they're more like hyper self-aware or self-conscious when they're around you, but I do think it's something that they deal with in general. It's not like they're super affectionate and expressive with everybody else except you. Like that, no. I think it's something that they just deal with in general. But yeah, it seems like currently they don't really communicate their feelings. Maybe they show it through actions. Maybe they show it in more indirect or more subtle ways. And also with the Lovers in reverse here, this could be an indication that they learned it from someone, you know, to be more cool, to kind of bottle things up and show that you're unaffected. They have learned this from someone. So they maybe learned it growing up, like that kind of behavior was modeled to them, or a significant past relationship that they had kind of taught them, so to speak, to be like that. It's something, the Lovers makes me think of how we are influenced by each other, what we pick up from each other, because it's Gemini. Gemini is like a sponge when it comes to the people they're around. So I do think it was like a learned behavior, but maybe not the most helpful one. That's an interesting point that they might be waking up to. There's a lot of things that we internalize and then we're like, oh, this is just how I am, without realizing, no, that's not just how you are, quote unquote. It is something that you were conditioned to believe about yourself. It's a way that you were conditioned to behave. So maybe this honesty and transformation has a lot to do with them releasing their conditioning to see the true self that lies underneath. Because, okay, something that's coming through is there's a difference between being influenced by someone in the sense that you are taking inspiration from them versus you are being unconsciously conditioned and internalizing that trait as your own. I hope that that makes sense. I think they're learning to discern the difference, because obviously being influenced by someone is not inherently a bad thing. You just need to be conscious of when it's happening and discern, like, is this good for me or not? Okay, what do you need to know moving forward? So this is a message from Spirit. We have the Five of Wands here, and I may want to pull a clarifier for this, because what I heard from Spirit when I pulled this card is like, it's not going to be easy. And the Five of Wands can talk about a conflict between people. It can also talk about internal conflicts. I'm noticing that there's like some people who are wearing white dresses and it looks like brown. It kind of looks like there's two different teams. And it looks like, actually, now that I think about it, it looks like a battle between light and shadow. Spirit is saying, don't fall for the 3D illusion that light and shadow are opposites. Opposites are actually two ends of the same, two ends of the same pole, two ends of the same polarity. 4 as I'm saying that. Don't fall for the illusion that they are separate. They are two sides of the same thing. And whether you're expressing yourself on this end or that end, you're actually expressing the same energy. There is some hint that Spirit is trying to give you when it comes to this connection, to not be fooled by like the illusion of duality or the illusion of separation or the illusion of two, like this being two different things. No, it's actually one thing. I'm sorry that's a little bit vague. Maybe it's something you will have to keep in your back pocket and it will make sense later, or maybe you already know what I'm talking about, but it's two sides of the same coin. Like, one example of this energy is like shame and pride are the same energy. They exist on a pole. it's one thing, it's one pole, and you can slide from one end to the other. If you're capable of feeling pride, then you're capable of feeling shame, because you're already on that frequency. You're just sliding to the other side of it. And the only way to free yourself is to transcend that pole. If I can feel pride when the material world gives me something, then I can feel shame when the material world takes it away. So the way to be free from shame is not to run to the other side and seek pride, because you're still on the same pole. You will never be free from one extreme by running to the other. You will never be free from your shadow by just trying to run away from it and run towards the light. The opposites are the same energy. It's not about running to one side or the other. It's about integrating the whole thing. Spirit wants you to know this when it comes to navigating this connection. The same thing goes with oneness and separation. You couldn't be in separation unless the concept of oneness existed within you. Anyway, I hope that I'm making sense, but that's what Spirit wants you to know and keep in mind. And maybe you're going to see more patterns of this as you move along your journey. I think it's not just like a one-off message that Spirit wants to give you. I think it's like something to keep in your mind, something to keep considering, something to look out for as you move through life. But yes, those are all the messages I have for you. So we're going to go into the extended now, and we're going to see what your person thinks that your thoughts are. Are they going to take action towards you? If so, what will that action be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move towards them, or if you told them your true feelings? And then we're going to answer any yes or no question of your choice, including the reason why. And we're going to see time frames as well as signs and synchronicities that are significant to this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, it's going to be on Patreon as well as Vimeo. So I'll have both of those linked down below, and you can meet me wherever you want to meet me. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch the extendeds of these readings. You can also watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings over there, so I'll have that link down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi, number fours. So if you guys chose the Pyrite with Calcite, this is going to be your reading. So there's a few intuitive messages coming up that I wanted to share with you before we get into the cards. And the first one is about something that actually happened when I was filming the intro and I was about to introduce your option. I randomly started burping a lot. Just bear with me. So I mean, that's not an uncommon thing to happen when I'm doing a reading, but I got this feeling with it like, okay, your person wants to get something off their chest. Like there's something they really want to say, or they could have a lot of pent up energy right now. Like there's some energy or emotion inside of them that wants to be expressed, but their current circumstances or their current environment isn't really allowing for that. And so they're kind of holding it in an uncomfortable way, and they want to express it. There's also something coming through about moving or relocation, So that could be a sign for some of you if you've just done that recently or you're thinking about doing that. That could be a confirmation that you've found your group. And with that message, the word town kept coming up. So this could be like someone moving to a different town or someone living somewhere that has town in the name. This could be an English name or a name in another language. Like, for example, in Japan, there's a lot of neighborhoods that have the word town in it. Like, it would translate to blank town. So a city with that kind of name could also be significant for someone. And then there's another message about keeping an item close to you that reminds you of the other person. So maybe you keep something close to you that reminds you of them, or they have something that reminds them of you. It could be a mutual thing as well. I don't know if you've like gifted this person something in the past, or if you have, by the way, then they've definitely kept it close to them. Or if you can think of a certain kind of item that might remind them of you, but there was that feeling of having something close by and they're reminded of you. And you could be doing the same for them. So I think that was everything. I think those are all the intuitive messages that were coming through. So let's dive into your cards. This is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to be doing today. Oh, she's not turning on. There we go. I had to turn on the extension cord. So here is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. So here on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing your person's current energy, their current situation, what's going on with them right now, and where is their head at right now. Then we're going to see how they view you, and there's going to be non-romantic messages as well as romantic messages. So if the person you're asking about happens to be a romantic interest, then you'll probably want to watch both of these. But if it is strictly a non-romantic connection, then there's going to be a timestamp down below for you to skip past the messages of that nature. Then we are going to see your person's thoughts of you, their thoughts of the connection with you, their thoughts of the current circumstances surrounding you. What would they say to you if they were being completely honest and unfiltered? In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? And a message from Spirit about what you should know moving forward. So what you should know about this person, about the connection, about the journey overall as you continue to navigate it. Then in the extended reading, we are going to see, what does your person think that your thoughts are of them? Will they take action towards you? If so, what would that action be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move towards them? Or how would they react if you told them your true feelings? And then we're going to answer a yes or no question. And this can be any question of your choice, including the reason why. And then any significant time frames, as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to the connection. So that's going to be the reading that we do today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. Group number 4, what is your person's current energy or their current situation? We have agate with healthy body. So the first thing that Spirit wants you to know about your person is that they are doing well. And 555 appeared on the camera timer as I flipped over this card. So they're doing well, and perhaps they've made some changes to their lifestyle recently that has improved their overall well-being, because 5 is the number of change. For some, maybe they've even made a pretty big change that would be surprising to the people around them. To use myself as an example, I'm kind of known for having a sweet tooth. So if I said to my loved ones like, oh no, I don't eat sweets anymore, they'd be like, whoa, so maybe they've done something that's kind of surprising to improve their physical health or their mental health. But yeah, Spirit definitely wants you to know that they're doing well. And I do feel like their health and well-being is one of their priorities at the moment. We have Moon and Jupiter. Okay, right away, this is giving me the feeling of someone who is getting in touch with their emotions. And that's very interesting to come out after healthy body. So maybe your person has had a realization recently that in order to be truly healthy, they must also take their mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health into consideration. Maybe that was something that they had kind of been neglecting in the past, whether that was just like an individual thing, or maybe it was a social or cultural thing, like mental health wasn't really talked about or prioritized. But yeah, they're realizing how important that is recently, and really trying to get in tune with their inner world. They're also, something about mindfulness practices is coming through. So maybe this is the type of person, like if they're not careful, they can get really stuck in their head and really stuck in loops of the same thought over and over again. Yeah, just getting really stuck in their head, stuck in their thoughts, overthinking. So they've been trying to be more mindful of that and prioritize their inner peace. Also getting in touch with their intuition. I am not really getting the sense of like spiritual awakening from this person, but they do believe in intuition in the sense that there are some things that my brain picks up on that I may not consciously notice. And I have to be aware of the fact that my brain might have knowledge that I am not privy to, and it's kind of like wiser than me. So I should tap into the subtle cues that I get from inside of me. I feel like that's maybe how they're framing it, but this whole thing really feels like them getting in touch with themselves, learning more about themselves, and figuring out how to best take care of themselves. And I love that for them. Okay, we also have, we have intimacy. The energy of intimacy supports us trusting that we are safe to allow closeness. We have success, and we have yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. So that's kind of an interesting two energies to come out together. Like we have success and then feeling tied down. It's giving me the feeling that your person is successful materially, perhaps professionally. Maybe they've recently achieved a big goal, or it is possible that they've been successful for a long time now. But it feels like in some way they had to trade in a freedom for their success. Or it's like they worked so hard to get this success, but now they actually feel like it's something that limits them or restricts them. Maybe that's what that pent up energy was. Like, okay, I have this success now, but now I have all these expectations on me. I can't just like say what I want or do what I want or make what I want, or I have to stick to this schedule, or I have to keep showing up in this persona because that's what people know of me and expect of me, or I can't really switch it up. I can't try new things. Something about the success they've manifested, they now feel is like keeping them somewhere or keeping them a certain way. So, and maybe that is something that has been affecting their health as well. Okay, I'm seeing the Hermit card. So that's definitely an inward journey. And that's also getting to the root of a problem. Okay, it's all coming together because we also saw 555, which is like radical change. I feel like your person has been feeling out of sorts. Maybe they've been feeling kind of anxious or stressed or like frustrated. And they were using wellness practices kind of like as a band-aid and not actually fixing the root of the problem. So just one example to illustrate the energy is like, if you're feeling really stressed out, maybe the solution is not deep breathing. Maybe the solution is quitting your shitty job. That's just one example, right? Maybe the solution is cutting off that toxic person. Maybe it's not just about drinking water and like touching grass. So maybe they are realizing that their well-being requires a more radical change. With intimacy here, they could also just be longing for a deeper level of connection in general, or perhaps with you. And I was also getting the feeling that they're maybe starting to open up about these revelations with people close to them. Like, I feel like I need a bigger change. So Sorry if you can hear that, by the way, the washing machine is running. So let's get into how this person views you. There are definitely similar energies throughout the groups of some kind of either an awakening or like a reality check or becoming more self-aware. Okay, so we're gonna start with the non-romantic aspects of how they view you. At least not like inherently romantic. So everybody can watch this part, but if you just want to skip right ahead to the romantic stuff, then there's going to be a timestamp here and also one that you can click down below to skip ahead to that. How does group number 4's person view them? We have the 9 of Cups, wishes, dreams, and happiness. Okay, I mean, this is not a surprise because whether or not you resonated with that intuitive message at the beginning, the image of someone keeping an item close to them that reminds them of you so that they can be thinking about you, that obviously conjures an image of this person being very fond of you. So yeah, this person likes you a lot. There is an element of wanting or desire with this card. So it could be that this person desires to be closer to you. Maybe they are desiring a deeper level of intimacy with you. This does have Jupiter energy. So there's a feeling of wanting to expand the connection with you. And I'm also hearing they would like you to take up more of their time. They would like you to take up a bigger part of their life. And I also heard a bigger part of their psyche. They just want more you. Like this is really weird, but I just had this image of like a pot of soup that represents their life. And they're like, it's missing a bit of group number 4. Like it needs a little bit more dash of group number 4. So maybe they want to be communicating to you more, seeing you more. I do think that they daydream about you or they think about the next time that they're going to see you. Very interesting that on this card we have someone blowing on a dandelion because that means they're making a wish. So they have wishes and desires and hopes pertaining to you and want to be closer to you. I'm hearing that you feel like home to them. So they feel very, very comfortable when they are around you. They feel at ease. And I'm also noticing that there's this glowing coming out of the person's... Okay, so it's actually a feather. But it's like there's this glowing around their throat. So there is something that they want to say to you, and it's positive. It could just be in general that they want to be more expressive about how important you are to them and make more of an effort to keep in touch with you. But you definitely bring them a lot of peace. And I also want to clarify, I don't think this means they're in any way dissatisfied with the way things are now, but they're happy with the way things are. They just want more of it. That's the vibe. Okay, so let's look at messages that are romantic in nature. If you want to skip this part, then there's going to be a timestamp here. And I will give you some time to do that because, okay. Now I trust that the romantic people are here only. I cut something out of the intro because when I was reading this, the breakdown of the reading, and And I got to this part, what would they say if they were completely honest and unfiltered? Immediately I was like, like there's a lot of sexual energy coming up. And I kind of alluded to that when I was filming the intro, because I like audibly reacted when that thought came up. I was like, what would they say if they were honest and unfiltered? Oh my God, like if they were completely unfiltered, this video would get demonetized. I'm sorry. So we may not get to the bottom of it, but you can use your imagination. And after I said that in the intro, I was like, wait a minute, but like everyone's here right now, including the non-romantic crowd. So let me not say that right now. Let me save it for this part that is just for you. Yeah, there's a lot of that coming up, and I kind of heard them say in a cheeky way, like, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? And I wonder as well, like, we have this message about the body and intimacy. And we also have this message of feeling frustrated. So I don't know, like, if you haven't been with this person in that way before, or if it's been a while, but they're definitely like hungry for it, if you will. Okay, let's okay, yeah, their thoughts of you in that nature are definitely a lot. Okay, half the deck just like spilled over. This is the first time that I've thought this with the cards we've been using from this deck, but there may be something like with your moon and their Jupiter, or their moon and your Jupiter, like some kind of aspect being made. So like, for example, I have a Gemini moon, so like if this was my reading, it could be that the other person has like Jupiter in Gemini or Jupiter in an air sign. So they have a harmonious relationship. Okay. If you resonate with having a psychic connection with this person, I feel like it will largely manifest through emotions. So you may feel emotions that belong to them and vice versa, or you have this ability of heightening each other's emotions. And I mean, people in general, we do feed off of each other's emotions, but I feel like that is heightened when it comes to the two of you. Okay, card just flew across the table and landed on the windowsill. That's pretty impressive. Two cards fell out together and landed on the windowsill, and they're both 8s. The 8 of fire and the 8 of water. Very interesting. Speed, activity, multitasking. Okay, so they are thinking about you a lot, and the thoughts are coming fast. The thoughts are coming fast and the thoughts are coming hard. And we also have multitasking here, which immediately made me think that they are like thinking about you and fantasizing you while they're doing other stuff. They have become very good at multitasking in that way. I feel there's an energy of them communicating with you more, and that came out in the non-romantic side of things as well. So if you haven't seen this happen yet, it's going to happen very soon. I think it's interesting in this deck that the wands are going away from the earth, because usually we see them actually, I don't know, maybe they're actually flying this way, but to me it looks like they're going this way, like away from the earth, and that just gave me the feeling of out of this world. Like, you are out of this world. And it also gave me the feeling, because they are making wishes on you and making wishes about you, it gave the feeling of them making a wish and then sending it out to the universe, like making a wish and surrendering. And they might not realize this, but when they're thinking about you in this way, they could very well be manifesting, provided that you are open to receiving this energy from them. If you stuck around for the romantic part, I would guess so, but yeah, you're on their mind frequently. I would say, look, I don't know how often, but they do think about you regularly. And we also have the 8 of water here. So this is very interesting, because this talks about the search for something more fulfilling. And we have established that there's some kind of emotional connection between the two of you, that you can heighten each other's emotions. You can make each other more aware of your own emotions. And so I feel like this journey of theirs, getting more in touch with their emotions, has really been influenced by you in a positive way. And you have shown them that a deeper level of connection is possible, and that a deeper level of fulfillment and meaning in life is possible. And it's kind of like, after experiencing the connection with you, surface level things just don't do it for them anymore. Anything that their soul isn't in, anything that they can't feel a soul connection to, anything that they can't feel a deep emotional connection to, it just doesn't do it for them anymore. I feel like no longer can they do things in a half-hearted way. No longer can they do things in a kind of like casual way. No longer can they do things just to pass the time or just to be a means to an end. They need to feel their soul invested in the whole process. I think you've kind of made them realize the ways in which they'd been living kind of shallowly. And I don't mean shallow as in vain. I mean kind of surface level, not pondering the deeper meaning behind why they're doing the things they do, or why they are investing energy into this project or into this path or into this relationship. They've maybe lived a little bit on autopilot, like, I'm taking these steps in life because that's just what you do. I'm checking off the boxes. And I think you've introduced a deeper layer of meaning to them and influenced them in a positive way to go within and search for and create a life that is more deeply and uniquely fulfilling to them. There is something coming through that they feel like there's still a lot that they don't know about you. And maybe a better way of wording this is, there's a lot about you that they haven't explored, or a lot about the connection with you that they haven't gotten to explore yet. They feel like there's still more layers of it to uncover. And I imagine that would lead them down a spiritual path, because it just seems to be leading there. Like, on their journey to health, they're coming to this realization that, oh, it goes beyond the physical. On their journey to well-being and managing stress, they're realizing, oh, it goes a bit deeper than what I thought. And on their journey of being very attracted to you, it's gonna go there too. Like, oh, this is deeper than I thought. There's more layers to experience. So this is an exciting energy, and so cool that we had 2 8s come out together. And the intimacy is number 26, which also adds up to 8. And that it was fire and water. Like, it's very much giving yin and yang vibes. So we are going to dive into their thoughts of you. Group number 4. What are this person's thoughts of you? Oh, and by the way, we are using reversals today. So we got the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Their thoughts of the connection, 4 of Swords. Their thoughts of the circumstances, the Empress. What would they say to you if they were completely honest and unfiltered? 8 of Cups in reverse. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? The Moon in reverse. And a message from Spirit. What should you know moving forward? The Page of Swords. Okay. We're going to go through these in order, starting with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, representing their thoughts of you. There's sort of 2 messages coming through here. One is that your person may think that you don't quite realize how valuable you are, or like don't quite see how worthy you are, and that you deserve more. Maybe they observe this in the way that you talk about yourself, or even just where you're at in life. And this is not them saying that you're behind, it's them observing you and being like, oh my gosh, you are so incredible. You are so good at what you do. Like, you could be way ahead if you like knew your worth a bit more or advocated for yourself a bit more. And I'm trying to be careful with this message, because I don't want it to sound, I think, like patronizing, you know, but I think they envision you as someone who is capable of so much more success. It's sort of giving like there are people who are way less qualified than you and way less smart than you, and they're doing a lot more just because they believe in themselves. So it's like, if you just had that little bit extra like assertiveness or advocating for yourself or not being afraid to ask for more, you could be miles ahead. I hope that's not coming through in a weird way, but these are like unfiltered thoughts. And I think the reason I'm struggling with the message is because I don't want it to be like a you're insecure, don't know what for. Like, I don't want it to be one of those like, oh, you're so beautiful, you just don't know it, because that just sounds weird. But they just want the best for you. They just want the best for you. They just want more for you. So that's one message that is coming through. And then the other thing is that they still haven't quite figured out how to navigate the connection with you, because it is quite intense for them. And rather than being able to smoothly swim through it, it feels like they go through periods of like sinking and then floating and then sinking and then floating. They haven't figured out how to navigate it yet in a balanced way. So what I mean by that is, like, they'll have thoughts of you, they start thinking about you, and then it gets, the emotions get kind of intense, and they feel they're thinking about you a bit too much or a bit too strongly, or you're like the energy of the connection is kind of taking over, and then they're like, oh no, this is too much. Like, I'm doing too much. I'm thinking too much about it. I have to let go. I have to detach. And then they just like let go of the connection. And then they're like, I miss group number 4's energy. And they latch back on again and the emotions become intense again. And then they're like, no, I need to get over it. And then it goes down. Another example of this would be a car that's like, like slamming on the gas and slamming on the brakes, slamming on the gas, slamming on the brakes. I feel like that's kind of how they navigate the connection right now, rather than just smoothly driving, because they're able to keep just the right, a moderate amount of pressure on the gas pedal at all times and stay in that healthy middle lane. So I think it's intense energy, right? It's intense emotions. And I think it will take some time for them to learn how to swim through those waters, so to speak. And I just saw 3333, so that could be significant. What they think of the connection is the 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords kind of seems like, well, it is an energy of stillness and inaction, non-action. So they maybe feel like this connection is kind of on a pause right now, depending on your situation, or that it's not really moving forward. And they would like it to, but at the same time, I don't see them necessarily taking actions to make that happen at this time. The 4 of Swords can indicate a sort of passive energy to me, and especially because the person is sleeping, like they're lying down, and it's also related to the sign of Libra, which can sometimes put more emphasis on like waiting for the other person to do something versus taking the initiative to make the first move. So it seems like a lot of this connection is being experienced internally at the moment, with emotions, with visualizations, with daydreams, or even with sleeping dreams, thinking a lot about it, thinking about their intentions, thinking about what they want. But then when it comes to actually acting on it, we're kind of frozen. There was that message before about still learning how to navigate the connection and navigate the emotions. And so maybe action is something that will happen once the intensity or the instability kind of settles down. But the way they see the connection right now, they do see it as stable and not going anywhere, because we have the 4 of Swords here. I don't think they see themselves like moving on from you or getting over you ever or like anytime soon. You are a very stable and fixed presence in their life. It's just that when it comes to navigating the emotions, it feels quite up and down. And when it comes to action, it feels quite quiet. How they feel about the circumstances around you. We have the Empress, and this is making me think back to the Success card. I wonder if in some way someone's success or someone's position is creating a barrier within the connection, whether it's because of someone's schedule being irregular or being very full and busy, or someone not having the liberties that they used to have. They're not free to travel so much anymore. They're not free to say what they want and do what they want so much anymore, or because of the persona that success brings out of someone. Now that they have this success, they have to behave in a certain way. They have to present in a certain way. They have to express themselves in a certain way. There's someone who's lost some kind of freedom because of their success, and that may be impacting the relationship. You know, the Empress is someone who is successful and abundant and prosperous and who has manifested amazing things in the physical world. But in this reading, that is coming up as the challenge, like something that is standing in the way. So it could very well be them who is feeling kind of blocked. Maybe you have a little bit of that on your end too. And I'm noticing that there is a full moon behind the Empress, and the full moon is like, again, really intense emotions. And we had Jupiter in the moon earlier as well too. So this person is full of emotion and feels like they can't express it in the way that they want to. And the Empress is also, it has like Libra energy, it has Venusian energy. So I think things are nice between you. Things are, I'm hearing the word like cordial. It's like you behave in a friendly and cordial and harmonious way. Again, it feels like there's nothing wrong with the way the connection is right now, but it's just that they want more. They want more, or they want a deeper layer of it. And maybe they're not acting on that because like they don't know how, or they just can't, like based on the current situation. At least they can't in the way that they really want to. What would they say to you if they were completely honest and unfiltered? We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This is a card that came out in the romantic messages, but this message can be for anybody. Basically, when it came out in the romantic messages, we were talking about it in the sense that it's a revelation your person has had, that they want to live a more meaningful life and they want to pursue things that they really feel their soul is invested in, rather than just doing things to check it off a list, rather than just doing things to pass the time, rather than just doing things because that's just what you do in this society, in this world. That's just what is expected of you. They don't want to do that anymore. They want a path led by their soul. And so I think if they were being really honest with you, they might say they feel like they can't do that yet, which I know is kind of disappointing. But I think it often takes some time from the point that we have that revelation that something needs to change to the point that we're actually able to make that change. And for your person, it could be like fear, a lack of confidence. It could be that they're still working through things. They're still a bit confused about how to go about it. Or, like I said, it could be that they literally can't, based on their current environment, based on the current, their current location, the people who are counting on them, their responsibilities, like other commitments that they had previously made, other emotional considerations. You know, making big changes in our life are often messy, and I think they're just in the mess of it right now. So I think it can be very exciting to hear like, okay, this person is having realizations and they're realizing that something needs to change in their life. And I think if they were being really honest and unfiltered with you, they might say like, yeah, but I still don't know if I can do it yet. And it might take some time. And I feel like I'm going to be where I am in my current environment and my current situation for a bit longer. In what ways do they communicate their feelings to you? We have the moon in reverse. I don't think this person hides their feelings for you or like tries to downplay them. And I think you know very well their true feelings for you. I don't think they could hide them from you, because you seem to have, you're like very in tune with each other emotionally. Like I said, you could even have a psychic connection with this person. I think we talked about that in the romance part, but that message can go for anybody. So you do kind of have this ability of reading each other, I want to say like a book. So you know very well how they feel. I think you can feel the affection, depending on the type of your relationship, like the love, attraction, fondness, whatever resonates with you. You can feel that coming from them. You can feel the desire for more closeness coming from them. I do think a lot of their feelings could be communicated to you more so subliminally with this moon card in reverse. So it's not necessarily what they say, but how they say it, or the energy that it carries. The more subtle, unseen things that you pick up from them. Yeah, they communicate it to you on an energetic level. And it could be through dreams, because we have the Four of Swords here as well with this person sleeping, through dreams, through telepathy. It feels like more on a non-physical level that a lot of your feelings are being communicated right now. And that's not to say that they're like trying to hide them from you. I just keep getting this feeling that the current circumstances, or like where both of you are positioned in this life, in the world, it just hasn't been the most facilitating for the emotions to be expressed in a 3D sense, like verbally, physically, visibly. But that doesn't mean you can't feel them. And that doesn't mean they're not there. And I think neither of you can really hide your feelings for each other. They kind of spill over, and 4 as I'm saying that. And it's something that you both pick up on. So don't ever feel like you are experiencing this on your own, or you're just feeling these things on your own. It's kind of impossible, because it's one thing that you're both experiencing at the same time. It's not like I'm over here with my feelings and you're over here with your feelings. You are sharing the emotion. You're going through it together. What does Spirit want you to know moving forward? I think this is something that Spirit wants you to know about this person. Like, okay, this is good. First, I have to say, they are maybe a bit less evolved than you think right now. Yes, we see that they are becoming more aware of themselves and becoming aware of the changes that need to be made, but these realizations are still kind of in an elementary phase. It's still just like a thought that they're having. And we've seen they haven't necessarily taken a lot of action yet to make changes, and maybe don't even feel like they can yet. So Spirit just wants you to be aware that they're still in the early stages of this new era. They're not as evolved as you think they could be. I'm also hearing they're not as experienced as you think. What does that mean? Maybe they don't have as much spiritual knowledge as you might think they do. They don't have, this could even be professionally, like, I don't know, they might not be as knowledgeable or experienced as you assume they are. They could be a bit less mature than you imagine them to be. In relationships as well, it could even be that. Like, for example, if this was like a romantic interest, the message could be that they don't have really a lot of romantic experience. Or like if this is someone you wanted to collaborate with because you feel like it's gonna boost your career, maybe Spirit's saying, well, they actually don't, they're not as, that sounds bad too. I don't want to say they're not as powerful as you think, but because they're not as advanced. The energy that you pick up from them may be like their potential or their future energy. But as it is currently in the 3D, they're a bit like behind from what you think, or they haven't grown as much as you might think. However, all of that just came from the fact that this is a page, but it is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords learn quickly and they move quickly. So they may not be quite where you imagine them to be right now, but Spirit's saying they're going to advance quickly. So don't get discouraged if you see them in the 3D not matching how you've felt them energetically. Don't get discouraged by that. It's not that you read their energy wrong. It's just that you're picking up on an energy that is a bit in the future. So don't let that invalidate what you've experienced. They just need time to catch up to what you're already perceiving. I hope that that makes sense. So we're going to go into the extended now, where they see what they think your thoughts are of them. Will they take action towards you? If so, what is that action going to be? If not, should you be the one to take action? How would they react if you made a move towards them? How would they react if you told them your true feelings? And we'll answer a yes or no question of your choice, including the reason why, and we'll also see any significant timeframes as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to the connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below. It will be available on Patreon or Vimeo, so you can meet me wherever you want to meet me. If you're going to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch the extendeds. You can also watch exclusive full-length pick a card readings. So I'll have that linked down below, and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.